Bienvenido a tu primer práctica de listening. A continuación escucharás un podcast acerca de la vida en Estados Unidos.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the American Mosaic. Today, we're diving into a topic I think many of us here, and certainly our listeners, have a lot to say about. What's it really like living in the U.S.? Angie, I'm going to throw it to you first. What's one thing that absolutely surprised you when you first moved here?
Oh, Caleb, that's a loaded question. Honestly, I think it was the sheer scale of everything. Like, I knew America was big, right? But until you've driven for 10 hours and you're still in the same state, you don't fully grasp it. And the variety. From one state to the next, it's like a different country sometimes.
Angie's absolutely right. I mean, I grew up here, but even I'm constantly surprised by how much difference there is between, say, New York City and a small town in Wyoming. It's not just the scenery, it's the culture, the pace of life, even the way people talk.
Yeah, and that diversity also extends to the people, which I found amazing. Coming from a smaller country, I wasn't used to seeing so many different nationalities and backgrounds intertwined in daily life. It's like a living, breathing tapestry of cultures, especially in the bigger cities.
That's a beautiful way to put it, Helen. For me, coming from the Midwest and then moving to the West Coast, it was the emphasis on individualism. Everyone's really encouraged to forge their own path, chase their dreams. It's inspiring, but it can also feel a bit isolating if you're not used to it, you know?
Oh, absolutely. The pull yourself up by your bootstraps mentality is very real. It has its advantages, but it definitely took some getting used to. Back home, there's a stronger collective support system, I think. Here, you often have to actively build your own.
And that leads into a common perception about Americans. We're often seen as very independent, sometimes to a fault. But I think there's also an incredible sense of community, especially in smaller towns or specific neighborhoods. It's just a different kind of community, perhaps more self-selected.
I found that too. When I first arrived, I was really struck by how friendly strangers could be. Total strangers just striking up conversations in line at the grocery store or at a coffee shop. That's not something you see everywhere, and I actually really appreciate it now.
Oh, definitely. That's the small-town charm peeking through, even in bigger cities sometimes. But let's talk about the practicalities. What about the cost of living? That's a huge one for anyone considering a move or even just relocating within the U.S.
Okay, the cost of living, that's a wild ride. It's like a roller coaster depending on where you are. I remember looking at apartment prices in San Francisco versus, say, Dallas. My jaw hit the floor. You can literally pay 5 times more for the same amount of space, or less.
Yeah, and it's not just rent. Groceries, gas, even everyday services can fluctuate wildly. Healthcare is another big one that often catches people off guard if they're used to a different system. It's something you absolutely have to factor into your budget here.
Oh, the healthcare system, that was a steep learning curve. The concept of deductibles and co-pays and networks, it's a whole new language you have to learn, and it can be really confusing and intimidating at first. It makes you appreciate systems where it's just simpler.
You're not kidding. It's definitely not as straightforward as many other countries. But moving on to something a bit lighter, the food scene. Angie, I know you're a big foodie. What's been your favorite culinary discovery since living in the U.S.?
Oh, Caleb, you know how much I love food. This is tough. But I have to say, the sheer variety of ethnic food, done so authentically, is just incredible. I've had some of the best Mexican food outside of Mexico, amazing Vietnamese pho, incredible Indian curries, and the regional American stuff too, like good barbecue or New Orleans gumbo. It's a culinary adventure every single day.
I'd agree with that. We really do have access to incredible food from all over the world, often right in our neighborhoods. And it's not just the fancy restaurants. Some of the best food comes from those hole-in-the-wall places or food trucks.
And the portion sizes. My goodness, coming from Europe, I was initially shocked. You could order one meal and it could easily feed 2 people. I learned quickly to either share or prepare for leftovers.
Haha, that's so true, Helen. Doggy bags are practically a national institution. Let's shift gears a bit to the concept of the American dream. Is it still alive and well, in your opinion, or has it evolved into something different?
That's a deep question, Caleb. I think the traditional American dream of a house with a picket fence and 2 cars might be harder to achieve for many now, given economic realities. But I believe the spirit of it, the idea that you can come here and create a better life for yourself and your family through hard work, is absolutely still alive. It's just perhaps redefined for each individual.
I agree with Angie. It's less about a specific set of possessions now and more about opportunity. The chance to innovate, to build something new, to access education that can propel you forward. That's where I see the dream manifesting today.
For me, coming here, the dream was really about intellectual freedom and pursuing a career path that might not have been as accessible back home. The sheer number of opportunities, especially in tech and research, is phenomenal. So yes, it definitely feels alive, but in a very personal, career-focused way.
That's a really insightful take, all of you. It's less about a cookie-cutter outcome and more about individual pursuit of happiness and opportunity. What about the pace of life? Do you feel like Americans are always on the go, or is that a stereotype?
Oh, definitely on the go in many places, especially in cities. There's a certain hustle culture, a drive to be productive and achieve. It can be exhilarating, but also exhausting if you don't intentionally build in time to slow down and recharge.
It's true, there's this unspoken expectation sometimes that you should always be striving for the next thing. But then you go to, say, a quiet beach town in Florida or a mountain community in Colorado, and the pace is completely different. So it really depends on your zip code.
I found the work-life balance a bit different too. In some European countries, leaving work at work is more ingrained. Here, I've noticed a blurring of lines sometimes, with people checking emails late at night. But again, it varies hugely by company and industry.
Absolutely. It's a complex picture, and you can't really generalize for such a vast country. Let's talk about something maybe a bit humorous or unexpected. What's one quirky American thing that still makes you chuckle or scratch your head?
Okay, I've got one. The sheer number of different types of milk. I went to buy milk, and there's whole, 2%, 1%, skim, then almond, oat, soy, rice, pea, and then organic versions of all of those. My head nearly exploded. Just give me plain old milk.
Haha, that's a good one, Angie. For me, it's the obsession with seasonal decor. Like, the minute Halloween is over, bam, Christmas decorations are everywhere. Then Easter, then 4th of July. It's a never-ending cycle of holiday cheer, and it's kind of endearing in its own over-the-top way.
Oh, I love the seasonal decor. My quirky one is the concept of drive-thrus for everything. Not just coffee and fast food, but pharmacies, banks, even sometimes dry cleaners. It's convenience taken to a whole new level, and I still find it both amazing and a little bit lazy.
Drive-thrus for everything, that's so true. And don't forget the giant pickup trucks, they're everywhere. It's part of that American love for big things, I guess. We've talked about a lot today, from the vastness of the country to the food, the American dream, and some of the quirks. If you had one piece of advice for someone considering moving to the US, what would it be?
My advice would be research, research, research. Not just the big cities, but different regions. Visit if you can. What works for someone in California might be completely different in Texas. And be open-minded. It's a land of incredible experiences if you let it be.
I'd say prepare for the financial aspects, especially healthcare, and be ready to advocate for yourself, but also embrace the opportunities. This country, for all its complexities, offers so many pathways to success and self-discovery if you're willing to work for it.
My advice would be to build your community. It can feel big and isolating at first, but once you find your people, whether through work, hobbies, or cultural groups, it really starts to feel like home. Don't be afraid to put yourself out there.
Fantastic advice from all of you. Embrace the opportunities, build your community, and do your research. I think that perfectly encapsulates what it means to truly thrive here. It's definitely not a monolithic experience, but a rich, varied tapestry that's constantly evolving. Thank you all for sharing your insights today.
Thanks for having us, Caleb.
It was a great discussion.
Really enjoyed it.
And thank you to all our listeners for tuning in to the American Mosaic. We hope this conversation gave you a glimpse into the diverse realities of living in the U.S. Join us next time for another deep dive into the everyday experiences that shape our lives. Until then, take care.